Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Boys Blues, 1975. YouTubers on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys Blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975, and welcome to the weekly vlog. Well, not so much a vlog, or not so much of a collection video either. A talkie about a topic, if you will. You've read the title, My Top 10 Japanese Megadrive Box Arts. Box Arts? Box Art. Covers. Basically, now, if you follow my channel for absolutely ages, you know that initially I set this channel up to kind of document, albeit in video form, catalogue, if you will, my pursuit to recreate my Japanese childhood Megadrive, because I'm probably boring you, but I'm going to have to say it again anyway, because as a kid, I didn't want to wait. I came off a Master System, massive Sega fanboy, did not want to wait for the release of the Megadrive, so I imported the Japanese one a year or so before it came out in the UK, and let me tell you, I was bloody popular that year at school. And it became very, very apparent straight away that the box art was something special, something brilliant, especially so a year so later when the UK box art came out. And so many of them, some of them were the same, but so many of them were different and basically inferior, basically shit in comparison. Now, it's weird because you upload a video and then years and years later, I mean, you know that the views, if you're lucky, continually click up to some degree or some extent depending upon the topic of said video, but you kind of get used to never getting comments on them. Now, I've got a playlist which is my Japanese Megadrive collection, which I did because 2 years or so into, you know, creating this channel, I managed to compile together my entire Japanese Megadrive collection. Now, since then, I've managed to get a lot more Japanese Megadrive games, so I would say I've got about 85 Megadrive games, but it's not really about that, because I never went out to collect them. I was happy with my collection. It's through amazing donations from wonderful, generous YouTubers and stuff like that, and if I see one in the wild, simply because it's Japanese, I will buy it. But part and parcel of that said collection is the ones I had as a kid, and that's why I set up this channel, and that's what was important to me to collect. And yeah, so anyway, waffling off topic, well, within topic I should say, that I got a comment on one of my Japanese Megadrive videos where they were saying, oh, I love the Japanese box art, do you have a video of your favourite box art and can you link me to it? And I thought, oh my god, no I don't, I've never done. I've touched upon how I think the box art is amazing and maybe shown one or two examples or shown it during those collection videos, but I've never actually broken down into a top 10 my favourite Japanese box arts, covers, things. You know what I mean? And yeah, I thought, wow, for someone whose channel was initially set up on collecting Japanese Megadrive games because of my childhood, and, you know, confessing to how much I love the art style and how I've always said it's superior to the West, and that's not me being a snob or Japanese fanboy, it is. When it was not used in the West as well, I'm saying. So this video is my top 10 Japanese box arts. Now, some of these might be, well, I think one of them basically might be similar, but it's not. It'll make sense. Anyway, this isn't an overview of the game or anything like that. I may say whether I think the game's amazing or not, maybe a little tangent story on it, but this is about the box art. So, number 10 would be, and I mentioned it in my Christmas video because it was a game I got for Christmas that I wanted because I played it in the arcade, and that would be DJ Boy. I will say this about the game, the Japanese one is completely uncensored, so it's the one you want to get. Look at it, it's absolutely lovely. Now, before you say, hang on, that looks like the UK one, no it doesn't. It's not cropped as much, it's got this wonderful, as much as I don't hate the black and white grid thing, I just love how open the Japanese covers are, and so it's got this wonderful white border, but it's not cropped, it's more expansive and it's bigger. Look it up now, you'll see what I mean if you think that, no, hang on, that looks the same. But then this, which is, you know, resembles the UK one but far better, the UK one is completely different to the Genesis one. The Genesis one is absolutely appalling, but I just love the cartoon style of this, doing the splits very, I don't know, it's not manga, but it's certainly not Western cartoon, if that makes sense. And like I said, the white, I can't believe I'm about to say this, the white just really makes it pop. And yeah, The back is brilliant. Again, minimalistic. I love the fact that we don't have this chunk of every single language in Europe. I just like the whole, it's Japanese, that's it. You can't speak Japanese, tough shit. But that's my number 10. I think that's a great looking game. And it's not arcade perfect, but it's far from it. It's a great game. Now, this might surprise you because I know there were big fans for the box art. Well, more so the original Sonic games with the grid. It does kind of, well, the Genesis one at least, the grid. Well, actually, the original Sonic PAL cover is amazing. I think that might be shared with Canada. The original Genesis one is kind of iconic because you got the loop in the background. But this is Sonic 3, so the Mega Drive logo in the UK had changed. But you might say, this is kind of weird. Why? Really? It's a mess. I love the Sonic 3 cover. I absolutely love the Sonic 3 cover. I love the whole fact that it's just white and everything's just exploding off and it's random. It's just kind of, it's 90s. It really is random 90s. Lots of times I particularly take the piss out of it on my channel, like, oh, 90s too, dude. But I just love it. I think it looks really, it is. It's an exciting mess, if that makes sense. I mean, I'd love to know if, like, whether you agree with me or you just think, seriously, Dave, what you were smoking, the UK or the Genesis one is better. But no, I love it. I just love the whole, you know, like I said, 90s mess. Dude, it looks like some sort of 90s gangster rap album. Bear with me on that. You look up some of the stuff, you'll see what I mean. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I really, really, really do. And obviously, it's repeated on the manual and the cartridge. But yeah, like I said, I don't know why. I just prefer it. I mean, you could argue that, I guess, from an attractive, or the way it looks, attractive nature, the UK and the Genesis ones look better. But like I said, I mean, taste is subjective, and I just like the pop and the explosion of, like, crazy 90s shit, man. Now, I don't honestly know, and I haven't looked this up. Excuse me, I need some aspartame to help preserve my bones. I haven't looked it up, so I honestly don't know if this got a UK release, because I do know that I played it back in the day when I had my original Japanese Megadrive by borrowing it off someone at school. So, you know, I had played it before, hence the fact that it's in my, you know, collection. But that would be Kagiki, which is kind of, well, I don't know, three-dimensional, isometric, fighting, cartoon-style fighting game, but that's not important. It's the box art we're looking at here. I like it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. You've got your group shot on the back of all the various characters in the game, but that's not what I like about it. I like the whole layered effect of it being a comic book. So I don't know, I can't compare this to a UK one, because I don't honestly know if there is a UK one. But it's got this, what really makes me like it, and what I did like about it back in the days, it's got this almost kind of claymation effect going on, like stop animation, you know, plasticine figures, if that makes sense. I just like it. That just appeals to me. Like I said, I love the back, because this box art, not, you know, covers necessarily, it's the whole, you know, shebang. But yeah, the whole panelled cartoon comic effect, and just the whole, it looks like Aardman Animation should make it into a movie. In fact, you should, Aardman Animation. You're just down the road from me. Maybe I should write you a letter and say, make Kagiki into, I think it's Kagiki, or is it Kagiki? I'm going to go with Kagiki. Say that 10 times really fast in front of the mirror, and if you can, Candyman shows up and kills you. Yeah, like I said, I just love the whole, you know, style of it. The manual as well. Look at that. That looks friggin' lush, and it's repeated all the way through. No, that's adverts. Well, actually, there's more cartoon in the manual, but yeah, like I said, I don't know. It's, well, you know, like I said, it's a subjective thing, isn't it? I just like the whole stop animation thing. There wasn't anything else like it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say here. This is going to be all over the shop, but maybe because I've, you know, I've sat in and had to do it. It was very difficult to compile these, apart from the top two. They were a piece of piss, but these were, yeah. This might surprise you that it's so far down the list, but don't confuse the quality of the game with the box art compared to the West. Bare Knuckle. Obviously, Bare Knuckle is Streets of Rage. But I never liked the Mega Drive UK cover, and I never liked the Master System UK cover, which obviously is the same cover. I just thought this was better. It was more aggressive, it was bigger, it was better drawn. The whole three of them standing there, you know, with the myriad of characters beneath them, all like, oh, look at me, I'm all beefed up and roidy and shit, and I'm about to smash you in the face. Whereas the UK one was just, I don't know. And I think a Guru Larry video pointed out that a bunch of it was nicked from other stuff, but yeah, I mean, this to me is, I mean, I think it is a better title. I really, really, really do think it's a better title. But that's not about that. I just, come on. That is so much better a looker than, you know, The UK one. Did the Genesis one have the same box art? I'm really not sure on that one. So by all means, correct me if I'm wrong on anything in this video, because the chances are I'm wrong on quite a lot. I often am. But yeah, like I said, it's just more aggressive and in your face, and again 90s dude, I guess, or Japanese 90s dude, even though it's clearly supposed to be America. Whereas the UK or the PAL Streets of Rage is just that bloke doing that god awful kick or something, and then Blaze in the background and it peering down a street. It just looks like generic panel in a comic book by some artist who couldn't draw properly. Rob Liefeld, I'm looking at you. Now, this is an unfair one because the Western version, both PAL releases and North American releases, was doctored and changed because it's based on Japanese anime. So that's not fair, but this is absolutely whole episodes of this are on YouTube, and I can't pronounce it properly. But the UK and US versions, or the PAL and North American NTSC versions, were Decap Attack, which completely reskinned the game and gave, well, same mechanic, but with the head. And that would be Magical Flying Hat Turbo Adventure. I bought it back in the day because I fell in love with it in CVG magazine when they reviewed it and just said it was an amazing game, amazing graphics, and was based on this Japanese anime. So obviously that's why the Japanese one is completely different from the West. But come on, and obviously because they're lifting anime images from the anime. I walked into that. But look how absolutely lovely that looks. That looks absolutely fantastic. And as I said, it's probably, the title's probably a little bit different than that, but I'm calling it that because that's what I've always called it. But I think it carries on in the manual, so you can get more of a feel for. No, you can't. Oh, I must have completely dreamt. But no, you can't. It's all screenshots, which is quite nice. Come on, look at Japanese manuals compared to the shite we got in this country. But no, that's absolutely amazing box art. Again, not fair to compare it to the West, because obviously the West was well, it wasn't a different game. It was a reskinned version of the game because of copyright, or not wanting to license, not copyright. But that is a thing of beauty. I might have to see if I can get a big ass door poster of it or something. Now, the next one. This is where we do enter into me gonna be a bit of a dick and just two examples on this list are a no-brainer as to how crap the Western release was. 3, but yeah, that would be Shadow Dancer, which is inspired by but not a port of the arcade machine. But just look at that, absolutely, yeah, bloke ninja flying towards you. Because I mean, I like Super Shinobi, it's the superior game. But the box art is just meh. But that is just, I don't know, that's aggressive ninja, fucking cool ninja flying towards you. You know, lightning in the background, Statue of Liberty. I really need to dust my shells more often. The image on the back is absolutely fantastic. It's just reeks of aggressive, great artwork. And also, the UK one, like, what? Why would you do that when this exists? The only thing I can think of is, do the artists not want their artwork to be, I don't know, shown overseas, or is there like something in their contract? But then I would have thought, well, hang on, though, Sega would own the art, wouldn't they? Because you'd be contracted to draw it for them. So I don't know if you know why this wasn't used in the West. It's a shame, because the West one just looks like, was he standing on a friggin' box with a bad guy on the other side of the box and his dog's behind him? And I just don't know, because that is eye porn in video game cover art right there. Now the next one would be another example. Actually, all the rest, apart from number 1, would be, actually no, that might be as well. Great example of Japanese box art versus Western box art. What the hell were we thinking? eSWAT. I've always thought that this, and I'm probably totally wrong on this, but I always thought that this was a 2000 AD artist who drew ABC Warriors after Simon Bisley, and also drew Slain after Simon Bisley. It's got, I forget his name, but it's got a very 90s, late 80s, early 90s, 2000 AD art style to it. So I'm probably completely wrong. I've looked over the cover, I can't find a name. The artwork is like awesome on the back. Don't really need to go into how crap the UK one is compared to this, because it's just a bloke folding his arms with like, he doesn't even look like a cool cyborg like the Terminator. He's got like a swollen chunky metal head and half-side metal body, and he's even wearing a police uniform off the top of my head. Whereas that is badass Robocop suit with guns and shit. So yeah, well, why? Why would you do that? Why is this not the way? Would it have sold more or less games? No, people probably bought eSwap based on the pedigree of the game or the reviews or the fact that they like the arcade machine, even though it's not an arcade port, which was a common thing with Sega games on the Mega Drive back then. Who knew? But seriously, that was just that's a crying shame. We're in the home stretch, the final three. Here's another one of my favourite Mega Drive games that I got for Christmas one year and absolutely loved it. I really got. You forget how stuff on shelves becomes dust magnets, but that would be Mercs, which is basically, I can't do the Japanese pronunciation without reading it, but Commando 2. Look at that. Look at that. It's almost like a cross between a watercoloured pastel comic book effect. Look at the back. It's just the colours, the shading, the shadows, you know, the contrast, the way all the images are behind it. It just looks absolutely amazing. Again, why was this not the Western one? Because the Western one was an incredibly ripped bloke. To the badly drawn, incredibly ripped bloke. With none of this vibrant colour and shit behind, just dots and shit dotted around. And again, like I said with DJ Boy, I love how open the Japanese cases are. That to me is brilliant, you know. Didn't loathe the grid, but I do think, you know, Mega Drive games and the PAL releases got better when they just stuck the blue Mega Drive name down the side. But that looks absolutely fantastic, and I love it. Like I said, the Western release one was just this bloke going like this with a gun, and he's tensing so hard. If you put a lump of coal up his ass, he would have cracked you a diamond 15 seconds later. Again, is it a license thing? Is it an artist thing? It's a shit thing when you look at the Western art. And this would be like the definition of that. Again, you know, for shit box art, it's Strider, come on, we're talking about. That's probably the worst ever UK box art. That is absolutely, what is he, a Russian? With a sash? With a sash? What is he, fucking cheerleading? It is appalling, even if the Japanese one wasn't a thing of beauty. But then you see the Japanese one, and it's eye-popping-tastic. Look, I mean, come on. That is friggin' awesome. That is absolutely stunning and beautiful. It's the contrast of the red and the blue. Ultimately, there are only three colours on it, black, red and blue, but it looks fantastic. I don't even know if it looks like it's ripped off an anime style, because it doesn't. It looks more like like pastel shaded version of just regular hand-drawn artwork. Beautiful hand-drawn artwork. So look at that, and then think of for a moment, and you'll be sick in your mouth, the PAL one. Yeah, you've been sick in your mouth. Especially when you see this. I know, eh? Come on. That is just... That is criminal that this never got to leave Japan. I don't know, there's collections of it, you know, where it's, you know, like, I don't know, they show some of the artwork, but it's in the manual as well. A little bit on the back, you know, like that. It's absolutely stunning. Hands down, some of the greatest, you know, art on a Mega Drive game ever, and it never left Japan. So even on the cartridge, look at that. But number one, ever since I had this back in the day as a kid, and I bought it from an import shop, and back then it was cheap. I don't know what it goes for now. I'm pretty sure it's not considered a budget game now, but it was a budget game then. I bought it from an import shop. You used to have import shops on the high street, mind, in like late 80s and early 90s. And one just down the road from me in a place called the Inn Shops. Who remembers the Inn Shops? There was one in Weston that had an import shop as well. Yeah. Now, what's this called in the UK or North America? Is it Earthbound? No, that's the SNES game. Oh, I can't think of what it is, but that's irrelevant, because I've already always known it as, and this artwork is this I should see if I can find a post. This is phenomenal. I've always known it as Assault Suit Lenos. Isn't that quite possibly the most beautiful game cover, even till now, that you've ever seen? It's like watercolour-tastic. It's anime, it's manga, it's mech, it's painted. It's beautiful, is what it is. Look, it's on the back. Now, this one I know is all through the manual. The game's pretty good as well, but it's balls hard. But this isn't about the game, but it's a good game. the manual is just phenomenal. And like I said, it was a cheap game back in the day because I only had a little bit of money for my birthday one year, and so I bought it, and that's why it's in this collection. I'm drooling. It's that beautiful. Salt Suit Lanos. What is it? What is the name of it? Oh, I'm having complete brain farts. Look at that. I know this is box art, but I've got to show you it in the manual, how beautiful it looks. I think, do we have more? I think it's just going into... This is probably why I sucked at it, because there's so many instructions about the weapons and I couldn't read Japanese. But yeah, look. Clearly they stole that mech design from Aliens. But that doesn't matter. This is my favourite Japanese Megadrive box art and manual. And also, to this day, this is pretty much some of my favourite video game art of all time. It is absolutely stunning and beautiful, and even if I have to scan it and blow it up myself, I really do need to get that as a poster. But anyway, so simply because of a random comment on an old video that got me thinking, while I've always talked about how much I love Japanese box art, I've never done my top 10. That is my top 10 Japanese. Now, there may be others out there you're thinking, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? That's where subjection comes in, isn't it? That's my favourite Japanese box art of all time. Now, as always, I'd love to know what you think. Kind of a bit difficult unless you collect Japanese games, what your favourite Japanese box art is. But what is your favourite box art of all time? And what do you think about the fact that we got such god-awful versions in this country, in North America, compared to those absolute things of beauty? Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.